All right, guys, about 5 minutes left. If you remember, if you finish the calculator, work on the next activity. My calculator on that thing.
You just want to get the balance, right? So we don't have to put such value in there. Okay, so what's important? What's the index of the column? So what's this? So this column is 2, right? It's not this, right? What do you call it? What do you call it? What do you call it? What would you call them? Yeah. How about this one? Oh, really? Yeah, where?
So I don't see it anywhere until I want to see it. So I created a global variable.
Just maybe when I'm doing total.
Oh, yeah.
So like for the actual total, I have it do just bank, comma, total. Yeah. Yeah. It is like it doesn't have to be like a process that put on the text. But like it's very faulty because we don't put negatives.
Are you going to use the parse row? Column? Line 8. Okay, now we do that. Can you do can you also can you do a switch statement? Process this tree. What are you going to switch on what?
Yeah, so you're right.
What would be
unless you're understanding that
what are the possible values of this? No, possible values.
yeah, after it's gonna be 2 weeks later, or you guys.
So your cases.
Oh.
Right? So this will hold the value of
All right, guys, let's go over this file. Okay, can you just grab your attention, right? All right, so the first thing we're going to make the file o5bank.js, right? o5bank.js, and over here, what I need to do is kind of grab process.argv, so I'll just console log it, right, just for the time being. Right, so now we'll call this file. So if I do node o5 bank.js, deposit, say 500, right? Let's just see if this works. So I'm gonna go into the terminal. Okay, cool. So it worked. It gave me back this right here, right? Right, so it gave me back this. So what is this? Why do I see this right here? Let's go to Sandy's row. Good, it's a file path for node, right? This argument right here is the file path for node. And then this argument right here is what Haven? I mean, Aaron Haven. What is this file path doing here? Why do we see this? Exactly. This is the file. This is the path of the file right here. Perfect. Right? This right here is the file path of this file. And then why do I see deposit right here, Rob? Perfect. Right? This is, see, this right here is the third element, and this right here is the third thing you typed into the command line. Right? This thing right here is where node is, and this is node as the first element. The first thing inside the command line, right? First element, first thing in the command line. So it's all matching like that. 500 right here, 500 right here at the end. Okay. All right, so now I need to grab what they want to do, right? Var action. Now I want to grab deposit right now. How do I do that? Let's go to Josh's row.
Process.arg.
2, right? 0, 1, no wait, wow, 1, 2, right here. Good. And then I'll get currency or
Amount.
Yes, amount, good. Right, so over here for if I want this 500 right here, Kristen's row, 3, good, right? So 3 because it's 0, 1, 2, 3, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, good. So we have deposit and we have 500. So now we have to do a pen file, right? So I want to include what library at the top? FS. So I'll do var f require fs. I'm going to just do that instead of fs so you clearly understand that this is different from this. And now we'll do f dot append file sync. I don't know if this is the correct name of the method. We'll just try and see if it works. And I'll do bank.txt, comma, and then over here, what I'll do over here is var action changed. So this is interesting. So, oh wow, cancel. All right, so over here, I can do a one-line if statement. I'll do this in 2 ways, just so you see the difference. So a one-line if statement to action, question mark, do action equals deposit. Question mark plus, otherwise minus. So if the action is deposit, then it'll put a plus in action changed. If the action is not deposit, it'll put the minus sign in, right? So that's one way of writing it. You could also write it with. You could also write this with an if statement. Right here, so you could do it like this, or you can do it like this. This is, sometimes you'll see this, so just throwing it out there.
An action sometimes will be total.
Oh, you're right.
You
Action.
want total to be minus.
You're absolutely right. That's a good point.
Don't do else, just do if action equals. Like just do a couple more ifs. If action equals. Draw.
And then I guess over here, yeah, I guess this way doesn't work anymore. I could write it in one line still, it would just look horrible. Yeah, this looks terrible. So I'm just saying, if as long as the action is deposit or withdraw, and the action's deposit, then put the plus sign in, right? Otherwise, put minus in. Deleting this. Yeah, I wrote that wrong. It's just confusing in one line. Yeah, the one-liner is good if it's only one simple conditional, not if it's like this. Okay, cool. F.append file sync. What we'll do here is action changed plus amount plus a comma. Right, so we'll see plus the number, comma. So now let's just try this file. Cool, looks like it did something. And let's look at the file. It should have made the file bank.txt. We see plus 500 comma, great. So append file sync will make the file if it's not there for us, as long as we have permission in that directory. So now we'll try it again with withdraw. The withdraw 100. Take a look at the file, minus 100. Cool. So that does the majority of the work for us right there. Now we have to calculate the total, right? So over here, okay, this is interesting. So I'm going to put this into a function. Function manipulate or append to bank file. I'm going to call this function right here and call it right here. And then over here, else if action equals total. And now I'm going to calculate the total, right? So I'm going to do var content equals f dot read file sync. Right, so now I have the contents of the bank.txt file, and I'll put UTF-8 right there. It's the character encoding. It's by default, it's probably going to be UTF-8. If it isn't UTF-8, it'll throw an error saying their encoding is wrong. And then we have to just check what the encoding of our file is by looking up a command on Stack Overflow. I don't know the command off the top of my head, but you could find out what the character encoding is of the file in one command. Okay, so now I have a content. Now I need to change the content is what data type? Qua, string, right? So how do I change content to an array? Good. And what do I put here? And comma, right? Cool. And then, so now I have this comma right here, and now it's gonna, let's just console log the content array right now. Okay, it looks like I screwed something up. Cannot find module bank.js. How did I do that? What did I screw up? Okay, well, let's just comment out all this code right here because it was working before. Did it say something different? Yeah, it looks 05. Oh, 05.bank.js. There we go. I just typed it wrong. What did I just do? Oh, it's a dash. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Okay, there we go. So over here, this is what it prints out now. Plus 500, minus 100, and these empty quotes. I have to figure out why it's doing that. So where is this? I'm going to comment out console log process.argv. So this is printing out this right now. So why is it doing that? Let's take a look at bank.js because this last comma right here. So I think it's always going to print out this right here. So I'll just ignore the last element based off of this, right? So this is exactly the reason why you have to take this step by step, right? Because you don't, if you're just coding this all out and then you're never running this in the terminal until like 200 lines later, I mean, there's just so many bugs that you'll get because you're not expecting this to be there. Okay, so ignore the last element because it will always be empty quotes because of the last comma. Okay, so now we have this element right here. So now I'm going to do var total equals 0. And now I'm going to loop over this content array. So how would I do that? Let's go to Aaron Haven. How would I loop over it?
Var I equals 0.
Good.
I less than content R. That way.
Excellent.
I plus 1.
Perfect. All right, Kristen's row. How would I add or subtract from total to create the right total from here? It's going to be plus 500 minus 100 in that fashion.
Yeah, total plus equals parse content.r.
Good. So this is going to add plus 500 or minus 100 to it, but will it always just, oh, this would work completely, right? Because parse, if you, or let's go to node, right? So if I have var a equals negative 100, and then if I do parse float a, nice, negative 100. So if we just add that to a number, it'll be, let's say the var total equals 0. Total equals total plus a. Oh, well, what the hell did I just do? Yeah, I didn't update var a, so let's just do that. Var a equals negative 100, but in quotes. If I do a equals parse float a, and then I do total equals 0, and then I do total equals total plus a. Now total is negative 100. Awesome, great job. All right, so now at the very end, I'll just console log the total.
Shouldn't you?
Go ahead.
I look forward.
Mhm.
Shouldn't it be content r.length minus 1 so that you're not getting that
Ah, so smart. Yeah, length -1. Right, so we don't include this last element right there. All right, so now let's check the balance. Right, so if I do cat bank.txt, we could see the contents of the file. Plus 500, -100. What's the balance, Fernando? 400. Good. All right, nice. So now let's try it. Node bank.js total. Because there is no file named bank.js. It's 05-bank.js. Total 400. Great. Like a mistake like every 5 seconds. Cool. So now we have the total. We have withdraw deposit working. And now that crazy lotto thing. So this should subtract an amount from the bank balance, but if a random number is hit, it should add a larger amount into the bank balance. So I wonder if this is something a bank could do or if it's illegal. Like, I wonder if this falls properly into the laws. I don't know.
I think it's just assuming if you hit the lotto, like you have to pay $2 per lotto ticket,
Mhm.
$2 per lotto ticket, and one time you might hit it, and then the lotto shits that money.
So it's going to subtract $2 no matter what. No matter what. And let's just say if you hit the number 3, then you get let's say $100. But there are a total of 100 possible numbers. Right, so it doesn't have to be this way, but I'll just do it this way. Okay, so this is else if. So else if lotto right here. So what we'll do is we will do right here amount equals 2, right? So amount equals 2. I'm going to subtract, and then I'm going to append to the bank file. So I'm going to withdraw $2 from their account right now because they're playing the lotto. And now we'll calculate the random number. So var random equals math.random, right? Math.random gives me 0 up to 0.999999, right? Repeating any number there. I multiply that by, let's say, 100. And then now it's a random number from 0 up to 99.999999. And now I do math.floor on that. Right, so now I have a random integer from 0 up to 99. Right, so it could be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if random equals 3, right, so then we'll change this right here. We'll add amount equals, let's say, $500. We'll do this. Let's do something crazy, $1 million, to encourage people to play the lotto and ruin their lives. Right here. So then it'll add $1 million there to the bank file. So I could change this to 4 numbers to kind of make this something that we will actually hit. So let's play the lotto. We'll do lotto. And you know what? I should put whether I won or not, right? Okay, so we'll do lotto. Okay, so now if I take a look at the bank.txt file, it says plus 500, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2, plus 1 million, right? Totally worth playing the game if it's like this easy, like 25% chance. And now let's calculate our total. Pretty good. Okay. Let's go over this file now. Right, so we include the FS package. Where is it? We include the FS package, library, sorry. And then over here for action and amount, we're just grabbing the action and amount from the command, right? Node 05 bank.js deposit, we're grabbing deposit from the command line, and that goes into action. We're grabbing 500 from the command line, and that goes into amount. And then over here, we have var action change. I'm just initializing a variable. And you know what? I'll put that right here. And if the action is deposit, then I'm gonna put plus into action changed, and then I'm gonna call append to bank file. What that's gonna do is it's going to go into bank.txt. I want to put quotes like this around just to be consistent. It's gonna go into the bank.txt file, and it's gonna put the action changed, which is plus or minus, the number, and then a comma after it. And if it's withdraw, it's going to put minus the number, comma after it, right? And we're using the append to bank file. And now if it's a total, we're going to read the contents of the file, split it to convert the string into an array, right, based on the comma. And then we're going to calculate the total. It starts off at 0. We're going to loop one less because the last element inside the array is going to be empty quotes like this, right? So we're looping over these two things. We're going to parse float the number, right? So plus 500 will just be 500. Minus 100 will be minus 100. We're going to add those numbers on each iteration to the total, and then console log the total. If it's a lotto, then we're going to subtract $2 from their account, right? Withdraw. And then we're going to calculate a random number, right? If it's 3, then we're going to put $1 million into their account. Otherwise, we're just going to tell them they lost, right? All right, so let me send you guys this file. Go over it, and then there's another activity in the channel. What is this? Oh. All right, so there's a multiples file right here. So do this activity after you're done going over the bank file. Right, so you're going to do this multiples activity right after going over this bank file. So I'll give you guys 15 minutes. Yes.
This way, we make it slower and slower every single time. Because the bank has to do a transaction. So a million transactions. Million current total at the time. You're going to draw just minus and we're trying to draw for transaction.
You're absolutely right.
Each time one total the last value.
No, that's smart. Yeah, you could reduce the time because otherwise it's open.
Yeah.
And now this is open one. I guess writing though would be slower. Right? Writing you have to do a little bit. Oh, you're writing. You're just grabbing the previous.
I'm just grabbing 320. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's always. So the way it's easier to read, I guess.
So when you're writing, you're just grabbing 200 from the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. So how would you grab 200 from the floor?
So we have the entire array here, and we take the
that concept. That's smart.
Yeah, so this is like a little further and oh yeah. Should we worry about that?
You've got the.
Yeah, that's just the located template.
Oh, yeah. More complex. Above and beyond.
Time complexity are building. Yeah, the time complexity. So now, yes, it's okay to go with it. And it's data structure. It's better to have this. Python has two goals. Python has stationary, it's just like the default. Yeah, right. Actually, I mean, I encourage people. Just yeah, just stay a little bit. It's a good thing. Homework fantastic is due this coming Saturday, right? Homework's like this coming Saturday, but you should have already submitted it, right? You've submitted every homework assignment. Put your GitHub link for every homework assignment, so you're not late for anything. You haven't done that, so you guys should be doing that. Yeah. You're going over the bank.js file. And then after that, you're going in the multiples activity. Yes. Yeah, so you're gonna have the first number. So let's say you have 500. So 6 and 12. So let's say you had, let's say you pass on the number 21, then you have 12, right? And you're going to add all them up. And you get a total. Oh, so when you're passing, let's say you pass 21, 21 stays right here. So find all the more 3, 6, 9, 15, 18, and then
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So the second
number
is the multiple. Oh, okay.
5 more minutes.
Push this problem a little bit differently because I have these bounds defined as a global variable, and the way I was trying to approach the problem is like just depending on what type of transaction it was, I would just character add to it. And I'm getting is just consistent with the balances just staying at zero.
Yeah, because
the
it's
scope
always,
issue, right?
it's always reinitializing to zero. So,
Right.
so if you did want to do this fashion, right, then you have to kind of write the balance to the file, write the balance to a file, right? Maybe the balance can always be in a separate file in this case, right? And then you do bar balance right here, and then you do sync, read by sync, right? Value, and you update the balance to that, and then now it's always and then as you would update the balance, but then you also write to the balance. Right? So then
Okay, gotcha.
but it's better to hold on to all the transactions, right? Because people are going to want to see their statement.
Right, right.
Hey, what's up?
I just have a question.
Sure. Yeah, totally. So where do you want me to look?
This is a question.
Mhm.
If you go to the function you made,
Right here.
so in here you separate these two with a comma. Why did you do the comma there instead?
Yeah, so this is the file I wanted to append to. And then this right here, the string that I'm going to put into panic.txt. I could have also wrote this like this, bar what to add to file.
And then just yeah.
Yeah, right there. That would be easier. Yeah.
I didn't know that's the part I get. So you always put the file that you're appending for
Mhm.
this method.
Exactly, and then that's exactly right. And then we're taking this string and putting it into the file.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm.
All right, thanks.
No problem. Yeah. All right, guys, about 2 minutes. All right, guys. So I'm going to go over this file, the multiples.js file. All right, so let's write a command line node application that takes in a number from the command line. This is the sum of all the multiples of 6 that are smaller than that number. So if you pass in 7, right, what are multiple? There's only one multiple of 6 less than 6. Pass in 13, it's 6 and 12, and 19, it's 6, 12, and 18, right? And you got to add up all those numbers and sum them up. Copy this code. I mean, these instructions, and right here, new file called 06 multiples.js. Just comment all of that out. Right, so I'm going to do var. So this file is node 06 multiples.js. And let's say I pass in a number, let's say 15. I want to grab 15. Right, so how would I grab 15? I would do var num, and what would I write right here? Derek, do the code? Perfect, right? And then I want to, what do I want to do to it? Parse int, that's fine. Parse int, great. So now I have the number, and now I have a var total. I'm going to set it to 0. And I need to do a for loop. I need to do a for loop that goes right before this number. Right before this number. So for var I equals, we could start at 0, but start at 1. I less than num minus 1, I plus. And now I need to do some logic guide whether I add I total. Right, what would that logic be? Let's go to Rob or Quasro. And some operation goes here. Yeah, so I 6 equals 0. Mod, right? So I'm checking, is the number does 6 go into this number? Does 6 divide fine into this number? So, right, let me go into Node right now. 12 divided by 6, what? 2, right? Let's do 12 mod 6. 0. 13 divided by 6, what is that? 2 and 1/6, right? But 13 mod 6, 1, right? Qua, what were you gonna say?
Why do we care if those in perfectly or not? Just for the modulo of 13 divided by 6.
So you want to do 13 divided by 6? Yeah. You want to floor it?
Yeah, so for that. 13 divided by 6. We don't care about the 1/6, right? Let's take a look for that for 2.
You want to do two iterations?
Yeah, the first iteration is to add 6. Second iteration is to add 6 multiplied by, which is not 2.
That's a great way of doing it. I just didn't think of it that way. Yeah, I'm going to just do it this way first. Yeah, that's a great way of doing it. So over here, if right here we have the number, right? So 15. We're going to stop right before 15 at 14, right? And then is 1 mod 6 equal to 0, right? Does 6 go on evenly? If it does, then we're going to total plus equal I, right? And at the end, console log right here. And then there was a bonus, right? The bonus was take in a second number, right? So what if they did 15, 3, right? 15, 3. So instead of 6 over here, we would take in 3. So var, we'll do var second num. Put this right here. Put 3 in to be able to get this. That was a bad. Right, process to argv3 will get me this 4, right? 0, 1, 2, which is why we have 2 here. 3, why we have 3 here. So second num would be the 4. And then instead of 6, I would do second num right here. Right? And we could say over here, if second num equals undefined, or sum equals empty quotes, we could do second num equals 6. Right? So we're going to know the second num is 6 if they didn't provide any value into it. Now, what Qua said was cool because we reduced the number of iterations down. So let's see over here. What I'll do over here is I'll say one way. Another way, so what Qua was saying is they passed in 15, and we'll just stick with 6 right here, right? We'll do 15 divided by 6, which is 2.5, right? And we'll math floor it. 2.5, and that gives us 2. We're going to do 2 2 iterations. So we'll do a for loop 2 times, right? We'll have total equals 0. And in this for loop, right, on the first one, I equals, what should we call it? So we'll do 6 times 1, I1. When I equals 1, we'll do 6 times 1, and add that to the total. And then when equals 2, we'll do 6 times 2 and add that to the total. Right, so now I'll code this part out right here. So we'll do num loops equals math.floor num second. So this is going to be the number of times we loop, and we'll do the for loop. We'll do 1. We'll start off with 1, and as long as I is less than, oh well, 0. As long as I is less than num loops, increment, right? So with 15, it's going to be 2. So we're going to loop 2 times. Do var total equals 0. And then your total plus equals I times, what was it? Second num. Right, so the first one's a little bit easier to understand, right? Because we start off at 0, we're looping 1 to 1 less than the number, right? We're checking if the second number goes into the first number, right? Like all evenly, right? 6 goes into 6, 6 goes into 12, 6 goes into 18, and then we're adding that number to the total, and then we're consoling the total. Right here. In the second version, we're the number divided by the second number. It's an interesting technique. And then we're flooring that. So now we know times we have to loop, right? And then we're doing the index times the second number, adding that to the total, right? The important thing for the second one is to understand that, okay, we have 15, we're going to do 6 plus 12, right? So you understand that we're just adding twice. Right here. So if you do 13 divided by 6, you get 2.16, right? So 2 and 1, probably something like that. Right? And if you do math.floor that, you get 2. So now you know you're gonna add twice. Now you know you'll add twice into the total, right? So the first, you know, you have the number 6 already. So 6 times 1, you add that in, and 6 times 2, add that in, right? So the second way saves you some iterations, right? Saves you some iterations in there.
I have another way that I think
Cool.
would be even faster.
Would love to hear. Go for it.
Basically, I just had num find as parser process argument 2,
Mhm.
and then I had another variable called multiplier, same thing, but index 3,
Mhm.
and then I had a sum 0, and then for my for loop, I had I set var I equals the multiplier, and then when I is less than
Oh wow,
the
smart.
number, and then I incremented by the multiplier.
Oh wow, that's really smart. Let me do that. So that actually is the same iterations as quaz,
Oh
Yeah. but it is great. Love it. Plus equals 6. So instead of 6, I'll do this as the second num. Put second num right here. And then over here, yeah, that's great. That does the same number of iterations as quaz, but this one's a little bit stand, I think. Right. So the reason why to do it this way, right? Because let's say it's 13, right? We're gonna add 6 and 12, and we're gonna add 6 and 12 together, right? We're gonna 0 through 5. So it doesn't matter. 6 is the first number we care about. So he's initializing I to be this number. He's initializing I to be 6. So we start off with 6, right? And then we don't care about 7, 8, 9, 10, or 11, right? So he's going to add 6 again to I, right? So this is really smart. Good job. All right, so with this, I mean, you know, I didn't think of those 2 other ways off the top of my head, but they're really smart because they reduce the number of iterations, which is important to think about. But can do is make flashcards for these, and we'll go over how to reduce the number of iterations later on, like what that form, how that formally works. So now what I'll do is I'll back this out to you guys. Yeah, Nadir, we did num -1 because I didn't want to. I thought if they passed in 12, that we shouldn't be counting 12, right? That's how I interpreted the problem. That's why I did that. It's okay if you just did num too. That's fine. All right, so homework is due this coming Saturday, right? And we'll give you the next homework assignment after that also. I'll give you that on Tuesday. On Tuesday, the next one I'll send to you guys. But for now, focus on Giftastic. And if you haven't submitted your GitHub to all the repos, all the homework assignments, please do that so you don't get marked late. Right? We cannot reverse that. We can't reverse it. Please. Meaning if you are late, then we can't reverse it. We don't have control anymore of that.
What is it anyway? It's like,
So you can't be late a number of times. Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of those are happening before
I'll try to get the database password and update it. Yeah, don't worry. It'll be fine. No, I have the database password. I will update it.
okay.
It'll be fine. Yeah. I'll take care, buddy. Bye. Hey, what's up, man?
Next week I'm not gonna be here from Tuesday to Thursday because I'm going to Vegas.